Yeah, as a kid, I wouldn't have been able to do nothing like that.
Yeah.
Me neither. I wasn't allowed to go nowhere. I couldn't even step foot in somebody's house.
We had to cross, like, you had to know my mama
Same.
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta talk on the phone and everything before I could come stay with you.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was for a long time. I wasn't even allowed to go off the street. And then when I was, you better not go in nobody's house. Like not even in. So the rest of my friends would go in the house. All right, I'm about to hop back on my bike and go home.
Right.
We would always have to be close to where my mom could see us outside. Like, we won't know going and nobody else.
Mm-hmm. I ain't had the desire neither. Like, I ain't want to go in nobody's house. My house might be slack.
I think this is the perfect transition to the 90s topic, actually. Welcome back to the Raw Educated Analysis of Life podcast, y'all. If you've been enjoying our content so far, thank you for tuning in. I got Boonie and William with me. What's going on, y'all?
What's going on?
Nothing much.
We were talking about the 90s, like growing up in our time. What's one thing that y'all really miss from the 90s, like the culture back then?
Right off the bat, I gotta say the TV, man.
I was about to say the same thing. TV shows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Music, TV shows, and stuff like that.
I miss that you had to that toddling around the TV to watch something.
Yeah,
because that was the only time you were gonna see it. Wasn't no you catch it because you didn't know when reruns was coming on.
Right. Sometimes some shows didn't have reruns.
Exactly. You got to sit down and catch it right there live.
If you didn't, you weren't gonna see it.
Exactly. Right. Better wait till that commercial to go pee. And get back.
Yeah, run into the bathroom, or run into the kitchen to get your snacks, fill your cups with whatever you drinking to get back to that TV.
Right.
What was some of y'all favorite shows from back then?
Fresh Prince for sure.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince. And of course, y'all know I loved me some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince. I liked BET back then.
Same.
What else did I like back then? TV. What else TV shows that I liked? I used to watch Martin, but I never really liked Martin. But I would watch it because that's what was on. Jamie Foxx too. I love Jamie Foxx. What else? Sister. Also Disney back then too. Everything that was on Disney, except High School Musical. I understand how y'all like High School Musical. And I'm probably the only 90s baby that feel like this, but I like Camp Rock over High School Musical.
I haven't seen either one.
High School Musical is trash to me.
The only thing I liked about High School Musical was the girl with the glasses. I can't remember her name.
The black girl.
She was cute, but I'm talking about she was white. She's a white girl with glasses. She was like the nerd in the school.
I don't remember. Well, I don't remember anyway because I don't.
Yeah, you don't like.
I don't like it, so I don't remember everything on them. But I did watch it before. Camp Rock to me was better though, with Demi Lovato and the Jonas Brothers.
I was a big Fresh Prince fan. I loved everything on TGI. I loved everything on TGIF. That was my thing, watching Family Matters and Fresh Prince, probably two of my favorite shows of all time. And Sister too. I remember I had, I think it was 3rd or 4th grade, and they asked me what I did during the summer. It was my favorite TV show, and I was such an in the moment kid. So it was Sister. I put on there. I remember writing Sister because I thought Tia Tamera was so cool. And,
I like Sister too.
And then I didn't have cable for a while, so when I did get cable, BET and Disney was really dope. Nickelodeon.
Also, what's the one with Kyla Pratt?
101?
101. Love 101 too. Of course, Moesha, the Parkers.
Mo to
all of those.
Eat to the.
Yeah, but yeah, Disney, like you said, I loved in the 90s. Definitely a lot better than 2000s. And Nickelodeon, like you said. Did you say Nickelodeon?
Yeah, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network.
Yeah, Cartoon Network too.
If y'all had to vote, so 90s, it's 90s. Okay, you think about 90s. Disney, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. What would y'all rank them? 1, 2, 3.
Disney always gonna be number one for me, just because, I'll say Disney, Cartoon Network, and Nickelodeon.
I would say Nickelodeon, Disney, then Cartoon Network. It's like I had a lot of shows on Nickelodeon that I watched and I still miss to this day. Like, and I can name them all off top of my head, like Rocket Power.
Oh, yeah, Rocket Power.
I love Rocket Power.
Hey Arnold.
I was just about to say
Arnold
that.
As well.
Hey Arnold was such ahead of his time. For real.
Right. Speaking of Hey Arnold, y'all gotta go on YouTube and look up Hey Antoine. It's Black Hey Arnold. That shit is hilarious.
Hey Antoine.
That Black Hey Antoine.
That is hilarious. It's literally the same characters, they just black. Like, it's funny as hell.
I gotta see it.
Me too.
Okay. For me.
Ooh, I told about Ginger too.
For me.
Oh yes, yeah.
For me, it was Cartoon Network first, then Nickelodeon, then Disney.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna rate it like that.
Because Cartoon Network, like, I don't know what it was, but it had like Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, Cow and Chicken. What was the other one?
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy was on Cartoon Network, or what? Or Nick?
I think that was on Cartoon Network.
That was Cartoon Network, yeah.
Cartoon Network had a lot, and then Toonami also came on there. So my introduction to anime was.
I knew you was gonna say it for that reason. That's why it was my second.
And then only reason Disney was last to me because it would be certain things I would go there. I wouldn't have Disney on all the time. So like if I heard a movie was coming out, like there's a lot of good stuff that was on there, but it was more for the movies for me because, like I said, I didn't have cable. And especially that the movies that would show on Disney had no commercials except for those Disney commercials. So I was watching, like, I would record Air Bud on there or Under Wraps, which is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Disney has some good movies.
They just remade it, and it's actually a pretty good remake. It's not bad like I thought it would be. Other movies like that'll be the Halloween Town series, all of them. Like, but Nickelodeon too, because of the shows like you mentioned, Hey Arnold, Rocket Power. What was that other one? That nasty one? Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yeah,
Ren and Stimpy was nasty. They was throwing adult jokes in there for kids, and we did not get none of it. It was really throwing adult jokes in there. SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents,
Oh yeah, I love Fairly Odd Parents.
And I love the crossover they did with Fairly Odd Parents and what was that other show? What was the other show on?
Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutron, that crossover. Because they had the animation styles were like so drastically different. So it was a clash of animation and the characters that you like in Jimmy and Timmy. You know, even though I gave the edge to Timmy Turner, like, it was much more interesting show. There's much more that he could do, you know. And they start adding more stuff to the point where they did a live action one recently, didn't they? The live action.
Really?
They did.
Really? I didn't know that.
When I finally got cable, I was just like, this is the shit. Like, This is what I've been missing out on. And then BET too, back in the day. Y'all remember Cedar's World?
Cedar's World.
I do remember Cedar's World.
Y'all remember Hits from the Street?
I think I remember Hits from the Streets.
Oh boy, he was in How High. It was funny though.
Oh yeah, I love I Need Money.
Yeah, I Need Money, yeah.
He was it was hilarious. Y'all remember that parody he did of the D'Angelo song, How Does It Feel?
Oh, I remember that. I remember that.
I remember the video first started, I'm like, oh, they keep playing this song, and it was him, his little skinny stuff.
I remember that, bro.
Mm-hmm. Remember Jamie Foxx did his own version of that shit.
Dang,
I ain't saw Jamie. I don't remember. If I do, I don't remember. I probably did. It's a lot of stuff.
Everybody made fun of that song though. It was Untitled. How does it feel? Like it was like low key risque for that time period because that's not stuff that we were seeing. Like especially like it was just him, in a video. So and usually the videos would be so many things going on, girls dancing or whatever, but it was just him with his shirt off, and they kept panning down to you thinking that, they about to show.
About to see something.
I was just like, okay, this is good camera work. I wonder whose idea was it to do this. So they knew all the girls would be watching that.
Right.
I love the music. Did y'all have the box out there?
Yeah, I did.
The box.
It was a
probably
nothing but music videos, but you had to call in if you wanted to request one. So it was like everything from like rock, pop, hip hop,
yeah, probably so.
Music videos all day. I don't know, like when in the 90s, but it was like I don't even think it made it into the 2000s, did it?
I don't think it did. I remember it used to come on like on regular TV. It was like if you didn't have cable, you would see that.
It's like for us, I remember it was like channel 68 or something like that. Because I would catch that was my introduction to new music. Was like all of those music videos and being able to see MTV, BET, and the box. Like I'm like, okay, there's more than just. Well, for me, it was more than just gospel and R&B because that's all my parents played.
Same.
I was like,
that's why y'all think I liked music so much too, because my mama only played gospel, and so like I started finding different music. I gravitated toward it, and I just held on and never let go. I was like, all this other stuff, this anime, these video games, forget all that. I want to hear me some songs.
I feel like our diversity in music was different because we got the exposure through the TV, through that. And it wasn't like it was oversaturated, like we could listen to like a countdown like R.E.A.L would have rap, pop, rock, all in the same countdown. It was just like, and I think that was an innovative way to do it, to introduce us to different sounds that was not just what we was used to.
Right.
I was used to straight gospel and some R&B and old school soul sprinkled into there.
I would get a taste of rap from like my stepdad and then like my uncles, because I used to be around guys all the time, so they would listen to a lot of rap. That's how I kind of got my introduction to a lot of rap music.
My stepdad introduced me to Eminem. I
really?
would not know who Eminem was if it wasn't for my stepdad. Yep, he had his first album in his car. And like
mine probably did too, and Jay-Z.
Yeah, we used to like, Jay. I knew about Jay. Like, I was like all the way into Rockefeller. Anything Def Jam actually when I was growing up. Like I love Def Jam artists.
My aunt had introduced me to a lot of the West Coast artists because she was like, my aunt, like her son's gangbangers, so they was listening to hardcore West Coast, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, and it was funny to me going over to her house because even when I was allowed to listen to rap, I wasn't allowed to listen to the unedited version of songs. Mm-hmm. So when I go over my aunt's house, she had the unedited CD, so it would play. So I'm sitting there singing the edited version, of a song. It'd be like, who that folk? And it was just like, it'd be that in the song. I'm like, who that?
That's another thing too. Our edited versions of those type of songs is so much better than now.
Yeah.
Like some you don't even some songs I still don't know the words, all the words too, because of the edited version or the radio version. I still just know those parts.
I feel like if you're a rapper, you need to write an edited version of it if you don't want the radio to just censor out your words.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe change it. Tell them what you want the word to be right there.
Yang Yang Twins were the kings at that joint.
Mm-hmm.
They songs used to be nasty, but like you play it on the radio, wait till I show you this.
Yeah.
I hated that. Hey girl, wait till I show you this.
The whisper song.
Never get enough.
He was all singing that shit too.
Yep.
Kids sitting there singing and having no idea what they was talking about.
We ain't had no business singing none of that.
None of that shit. do. Or the Nelly song, like
with wrestling in the 90s, DX doing the damn suck it. Like we was 13 years old doing that shit in school.
Did you ever get in trouble for it?
No, like my stepdad was a big wrestling fan, so he's one of the reasons why I'm a wrestling fan today. So like if I did it, like I never got caught doing it. Like we was always like doing that shit when the teacher wasn't looking or some shit like that.
I got in trouble for it because I was going to a private Christian school, right? And one of my friends, like, I thought he was my friend, but he turned out to be a punk ass nigga. I was really mad. So the teacher had said something to me or whatever, and she turned around and I was just like, I did it like real hard to it. Mm-hmm. Nobody know. Like
boys used to kill that joint. I used to watch stuff like that, but nobody never knew. Because I never talked about nothing. Like I was quiet. Like I feel like people don't really believe you when I say this, but I'm quiet. So nobody never knew what I was doing at home, what I was watching. They don't even know who I am for real.
I think that's because we know you now. We didn't know you then.
Yeah. Oh, well, I still quiet. I only talk because I got to. I can't sit here and I say that. Y'all met me in real life, it would be completely different. If we was to go on vacation or something like that, y'all would be like, y'all wouldn't even know how to respond for real. Like, dang, she ain't saying nothing since we got here.
Hey, you don't like me? Oh, we was cool.
It just be me and Royal talking and you quiet. That's funny.
No, eventually she gonna have to chime in. Though we can talk about something that's interesting. You gonna chime in?
Yep.
Sometimes I won't. I'll be saying it in my head.
I got suspended for that though, for doing the suck it. Because my friend, as soon as I did the suck it, he was like, "Ooh, he did the suck it."
Suspended though, that was too much.
And the thing is funny, right? In the suspension paper, she wrote down, was informed by Jovan that student did the suck this sign to me.
Suck this.
It's like,
suck this.
Childish for thinking that was funny.
I would have thought that shit was funny too. First of all, it's funny because that ain't what it's called.
Yeah. At least get it right.
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 I was mad because it's like you could have like not told on me as a friend, and then I'm getting suspended for it.
That's crazy.
Which I shouldn't even be suspended for it. Like
no, because the teacher where we was at would have still told you to sit your ass down.
Mm-hmm.
Sit your ass down.
They was allowed to snatch us up, but I think she was on a power trip because nobody liked her as a teacher. So she wasn't even a accredited teacher, mind you. Like, because we had at the school that school, it was one teacher. The rest of them were supervisors, which is allowed to like tell us what to do, but couldn't help us with the schoolwork.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's weird.
It was a church school, so yeah.
That was weird.
I miss wrestling from that time too, though. Like,
it was the best time of wrestling.
We had superstars that transcended wrestling. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't have to watch wrestling, but you knew who The Rock was.
Yep.
You knew who Stone Cold was. You knew who Undertaker was. Like, you knew who these people were. Like, even if you didn't know, you knew who
that's one thing I didn't stop watching wrestling until I stopped. I switched from satellite to streaming. Then it's like all that stuff that I was watching, I ain't keeping up.
Yeah.
William, did you know back then that it was scripted?
When I first started watching it, no, because they did such a good job at it. But then, you know, over the years, you start to realize like they didn't even do that for real. He didn't hit them for real.
What about you, Boonie? Did you know?
I didn't care. Like that wasn't even like a thing for me or whatever, but it didn't matter to me. It still don't. I still pretend that it's real.
Me too. I still enjoy it. Like I
it's
know,
real to me. You know what I mean?
I still pretend
I
that
know
it's
so
real.
much about it now. I even know I can tell from things that they do, like what I know what certain gestures mean. Like, so for instance, Randy Orton, when he does his power slam, there's a sign that he does to let them know to take the move and to not take it. So if he throws you off the ropes and he claps his hand, when you coming toward him, the clap means to take the move. But if he does that and he doesn't clap his hand, that means don't. Like don't take the move.
Don't take it or hit him with a reversal or something.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing those nuances to me makes it even better.
Right.
Because this is happening in real time. Like, so there's no room to make a mistake. And, I knew back then. I knew because I was like heavy onto like the internet, early internet stuff. So I was looking up stuff about everything, Dragon Ball Z. So I knew about Dragon Ball that there was a whole nother anime after Dragon Ball Z. Like I knew what was gonna happen. And then I heard about Dragon Ball AF. So I knew about wrestling too. So I was just like, it made me like it even more. He was like, oh, wrestling is fake. And right. So is every other TV show you watch.
Right. All entertainment is fake. All of it is fake, literally. Even in the music, it's all fake.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care.
I just don't be caring. Like I don't even care to find out what they be doing behind the scenes. Sometimes I don't care. I just want to watch it if I like it.
The thing is it entertaining?
Right. Exactly.
And that's what it was for us back then in the 90s watching wrestling. It was these storylines were so captivating. Like, oh my God, did he just force her to get married?
That's another thing too. Like we all said, we didn't care that things were fake. Like for instance, online now, when you see people doing skits and stuff like that, you always have those people in the comments, this fake, because where all of a sudden he just sitting right there waiting for him to do this and do that. And it's like we know it's not real, bro. We know it's not real. Y'all don't have to break down why it's fake. It's entertainment. It's supposed to be entertainment.
Exactly.
And I feel like they be so concerned with exposing people so much now that they try to take the enjoyment out of things.
Yep.
And it's annoying.
That'd be the first comment too. Like, so what?
Did you like it?
What's it funny?
I hate that be the first comment.
It's fake.
It always be a bad one.
It's like, bro, like this was not the purpose of this.
Right.
The purpose of it was to get you to laugh. purpose of it was to be entertaining to you. Did you laugh?
Right.
That's all that mattered. Mm-hmm. I'm scrolling on after that. It's just like
exactly.
It's not revolving around wondering and investigating this stuff real. Like
now that's all they care about, exposing this stuff be fake. It's do y'all not understand what entertainment means?
And they don't. They just want to expose some shit.
As much as we knew, the Cosby Show was named after Cosby, nobody thought that he was really a doctor.
Right.
Right.
Shit, on the show, his name
exactly.
Was exactly.
Right.
With Huxtable.
You know how hard you gotta be to name a show after you, and your name ain't even that name.
Yep.
Jamie Foxx too. It was Jamie King in the show.
Yeah, he was Jamie King.
How hard you gotta be.
Martin was Martin Payne. He was Martin Lawrence.
Right. Another show I missed from back then, well, two of them were sketch shows, and they were groundbreaking, was All That and In Living Color.
Oh my God, yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's so many people that are famous today still because of those shows.
Yep.
Jim Carrey, fucking Keenan, still like, it's surprising to see how much Keenan kept up with that, because a lot of people get burnt out from that sketch comedy, because it's like, that's a lot every week, all that, doing that, and then now for him to be doing it every week on Saturday Night Live, like it's a lot of work. So he got to have a passion for it. Like, I'm sorry, I don't got that much funny in
me. Freaking Amanda Bynes.
You got her show, the Amanda Show.
Every time she did that.
What was the other one? Just like
I like eggs.
What was the other one? Knock knock. Who's there? Chicken. I'm gonna hit you upside the head with a chicken.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bro, we used to thought that stuff was so funny.
Because it was.
That eggs girl used to get me every time.
I think I would still laugh at a lot of that stuff.
Me too.
Like, this is genuinely funny. Like, this was must-see TV too at the time.
As Told by Judy. That was the name of one of the things.
Yep.
The romance thing.
It was so groundbreaking for music too. Like, you get different artists to come there. Like, the fact that Ice Cube went there on All That and did a song about ass shaking, and us kids did not know it.
Dang, why didn't I?
We did not realize at the time. You could do it, put your ass into it. Mm-hmm. I could do it. The heavily edited though, but it was just like, I could do it, put your into it, put your into it, put your.
There's a lot of blanks.
The fact that he performed that on All That.
It would be some random people that would just come and perform on All That.
For real. TLC really with the intro, which is fire still.
I used to love Nickelodeon show intros because they had all of the dope artists.
Right. Mm-hmm. You actually got Kel rapping at the time, you know?
Yeah. Yep. He was in that Immature song.
Yep. Like, it was also so much.
Good Burger. Also, when Good Burger came out.
Yeah.
Bruh. We were so excited to watch that junk.
I remember those Nickelodeon VHSs. Like, those was gold, I swear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing like going to the movies to see a movie, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And this is a big difference between then and now. I feel like they let movies build more hype than they did before. Like, movies would stay in a movie theater for sometimes 6 months if it was good.
A long time.
And it was not coming on TV for another 2-3 years.
Right.
So if you didn't see it in theaters or you didn't go to Blockbuster to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nowadays, them joints on streaming services, the third day was.
You go to the movies and see Spider-Man come back home and watch it on the one of them bootleg
Yeah.
websites. So for free, and it's good quality. Because when they first used to bootleg stuff, that quality was trash. Now it's like the niggas is getting it from the people who shoot it.
Because they are.
Yeah.
They probably are. I'm like, God, this quality good. Ain't nobody walking past the screen or nothing.
Oh, you remember those old bootlegs like that? Somebody stand up in the middle of the movie.
Terrible,
They're coughing in the back.
We still watching.
Yeah,
we still watching.
Like we was in the theater for real. And it wouldn't even be the whole screen. Like you would see like the
piece of it.
The black part on the outside.
Yup. Piece of the screen.
Those bring back old
school days, bro.
You see somebody get up and go to the bathroom.
It ain't a bootleg if somebody don't walk past the camera.
Right.
Walk past the person. Excuse me. All right.
That's how I saw Freddy versus Jason for the first time. Niggas walking around.
That movie was trash.
It was, but I loved it because it was so bad.
Hey, and I still watch it to this day. I'll still watch it to this day, and it was trash.
It was horrible, but I enjoyed it.
Because Freddy Krueger is so funny. Like, I don't care. The movies could be trash. That nigga is funny.
That was
doing karate and shit. Funny, didn't know how to fight.
That was the best part of the movie to me was Freddy's parts.
Yeah.
Freddy carried the movie. So
me too.
It made it at least entertaining and funny. You know?
Right.
I saw it in theaters. One of my first date, actually. Like I actually got to go to the movies to take a girl to see that. I remember being disappointed, but I was just like, it wasn't about that. It was about the experience.
Right.
A lot of times if the movie sucked, it wasn't about the movie back then. It was about the experience that you got to go out, get popcorn, just be in the theater.
That was a luxury.
Yep.
I think people I think this generation kind of takes advantage of it.
They don't even want to go to the movies like that for real.
Yeah, they don't.
Unless it's some like action, like Marvel action pack something.
Right.
But they don't even really do that.
That was half the experience, was just going there and getting out. Going to play the arcades at the movie theater. Like sitting there waiting for it. Go in there, get your shoe stuck on the ground because somebody spit some gum out the movie before you.
Yeah. Please don't paint the visuals. I already hate the movie, bro.
Right.
It'd be so disgusting, bro.
That's one thing I feel like between this generation and our generation and this generation is going outside is a big difference. Like outside was our place. Like you could go out there and ride your bike, go out there, get dirty, fall over, do whatever you wanted to do. Like, we was getting into some shit. It was
a lot better than being in the house because you decided to get yelled at all day for doing stuff. Get them toys off the floor.
Right.
My mama used to love telling us she gonna throw our toys away. I'll get it right back out that trash can too. Throw my toys away.
Right.
I'm getting it right back.
You ain't about to throw my shit away.
Exactly.
I know one thing I heard, don't be coming in and out the house.
Don't
stay outside.
Yeah. All that running back and forth. You come in again, you staying in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stay outside as long as I can.
Right, exactly. You ain't coming in the house drinking from the sprinkler, so you won't have to come inside.
Exactly. That I swear to God, that was some of the best water ever.
Yes. I swear. Then we got well too. We got well water. We ain't got none of that city stuff. That joint used to be good. There's a little dirt in it. There's a little sand. But it good.
Especially on them hot days. Somebody go to somebody random hole.
Right.
Pour it on your head a little bit. Yeah.
That water used to be so cold. So cool.
Yeah. I love the fact that I feel like kids aren't kids anymore. Like they want to watch somebody do something instead of actually doing it.
Instead of doing it. It's weird to me. niggas be on vacation and they still watching YouTube, like watching somebody
Yeah.
do it, bro. It's a lazy river right there. You watching somebody in the lazy river.
Mhm.
You don't put that phone down.
We had to live in the moment. And
Right.
that's what we had at the time. We gonna have fun right here. And that's that. You can't I don't understand the thought process of watching somebody on vacation when you could go on
Right.
vacation.
You could go on vacation.
That would have been hilarious to us.
Yeah, that would have been dumb to us.
Can you imagine, like, we come in, somebody watching the VHS and somebody else on vacation? Don't take your ass outside.
Right.
Right.
Watching somebody in the pool.
There's a pool right there.
Right.
You don't jump your ass in the pool or get pushed in. That's what
Kids are entitled to, because that's a luxury too, to not do something and just watch somebody rather than do it when you are able to. A lot of times we wasn't able to do it, so whenever we got the chance, we was taking it.
Yeah. Right.
They have access to more things and they don't even want it.
Facts.
It's like that junk's stupid, but you sitting there watching somebody else do it.
Mhm.
The thing is too, we sometimes we didn't have a lot of options. Like mom said, you was going outside, you was going outside.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mom said, put your toy down, you got to put your toy down. Like now, it's just like I feel like they placate kids more today. To like, well, here's a phone.
Get out it's more so get out my face. Get on your phone and get out my face type of thing. Our parents' version of get out my face is go outside.
Mm-hmm.
Go outside to go play.
Or for me, it was for us at nighttime, it was put on a movie.
Yeah.
And walk out the room. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to put on this Lion King. I better shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now it's they got their phone. Get on YouTube and get out my face.
I don't feel like it's a stretch to say that it's bad in a sense, you know, to keep doing that. Like I'm not complaining about this generation because I feel like our generation is better in some ways, but also worse in some ways.
Worse in some ways, 100%.
But it's not a stretch to say that, you know, that kind of thing is messed up. Us living in the moment was a good thing. You know, being out there, whatever happened outside, you know, you fall and scrape your knee, you gotta get up, you fine.
I remember 2 boys in the neighborhood was fighting down the road, and one of them had some sodas, and nigga was beating him up and made him drop his sodas, and they was rolling down the road.
Wow.
Bro, I would never forget that.
That's funny. Seeing fights.
Yeah.
Instead of recording it, you had to be there, which I didn't want to be there.
Exactly. Me neither. A lot of the times I did not want to be there. I'm like, bruh, as soon as I start seeing people running that direction, I'm going the other way.
Nah, I was going to see the fight.
I ain't trying to see no fight, bro. It be too packed. It get packed up. All of that big crowd.
It never made sense to me why people would start fighting in front of people, like because you know somebody gonna break it up eventually. Like I want to fight you. I want to fight you till I'm finished. So let meet me after school in the corner over here. I don't want nobody else to find out. That was my thing. If you really wanted to fight me, everybody else wanted to. Oh, in front of the teacher, like you so hard because you got the first punch off and the teacher pulled
y'all apart.
Being in the middle of that fight circle was nothing else like it though. Like you trapped in too, because once you was in it, you couldn't get out. Like there ain't no running away now. You just gotta watch the people fight. Somebody fall, or
that's exactly why I used to go the other way, because that trapped. I ain't trying to be trapped right here, bro.
What do you think are some of the good things about our generation and some of the bad things from our generation?
Great question.
I feel like some of the good things was that like the togetherness, if that makes sense. The things that we used to do together, like the moments that we would cherish together, like you wanted to go and play with your friends or play with whoever it is that you was playing with or whatever, you would feel some type of way if you missed out on the fun or whatever.
Right.
And what else? That means the together, also the relationships. Like it was cool to have crushes on people and to like somebody and stuff like that. Now it's, ew, you like that girl? Like I don't like you. I don't like y'all. I don't like you women. A lot of the times, it's weird. Always hearing that we're not liked. Like we don't like y'all for real, type of stuff. And that will be in the music a lot of the times too. But I feel like, I guess the affection, we had more affection. And it wasn't seen that you wasn't a simp if you liked the girl or whatever. You wasn't a simp if you wanted to buy a girl something for Valentine's Day or whatever. You're not a simp. Like that was kind of like a normal thing to do. If you like somebody, you ask them out, or you want to buy them something, it's cool. But now it's like you do anything for her, you a simp.
Right.
It's weird, but I feel like some of the bad stuff, I don't know. There definitely was bad things. I think the bad things for our generation is the same as the bad things from this generation. It's just a lot worse in this generation now. Because I think those things were still present back then. It's just that it wasn't what was like. It wasn't, the bad stuff wasn't the stuff that was, the people didn't gravitate toward to it as they do now. Like now, all people want is bad, the bad things, or the things that were seen as bad back then, or whatever is okay now, and that's what people want. But when we were younger, like you probably would get shamed for doing certain things that were bad or whatever. Now it's you cool. Oh, you stole out that store. You cool. Like you really like that type of thing. But back then, you stole out that store. They was laughing at you because you stealing. Like, why you stealing out of a store?
Exactly. Openly talk shit about you too.
Yeah.
Stole out the store, stupid.
Like right now it's you cool for that. That's all I can think.
What you think, William?
So yeah, well, like I think the 90s was like a time where, like Boonie said, you wanted to be around people, you enjoyed it. Like it was something that you look forward to doing every day. And now people today don't really do that. Like they rather just be on their phone, looking at stuff on YouTube or Googling something. It's not the same. Like back then, we wanted to be outside and like playing with our friends, and we look forward to, just being able to do that. Now, nowadays, people don't. Like, you don't be seeing kids outside for real.
Yeah, you ride down the road, you ain't got to slow down for nobody.
Right.
Our parents would put themselves go outside.
Right.
Yeah, right. And I don't know. Maybe some of the bad things was probably the stuff that we were exposed to, like stuff that we shouldn't have been watching, but we were because we had access to it.
Yeah.
Like very much access to it. Like it was no, because you couldn't block something from being on TV. Like you can do that now, but back then you couldn't block nothing. Like you was going, if you wanted to see some Skinamax, you was gonna turn to it and just watch it.
When no parental block.
Right.
All you had to do was turn the volume down. They didn't know what you was in there watching.
Turn the volume down and put the last channel on PBS. So they didn't know.
So you can bash recall. Bash recall.
As soon as you hear something moving,
Nickelodeon was the backup channel.
That was also fun too, like doing that. Now the bad stuff is everywhere. Like you said, you could block it and stuff. Now that junk everywhere. You could block it, but it's still gonna come through because it's like pick up your phone, you liable to get a text message from you liable to get some news from somebody that you ain't never talked to in your life.
Yeah, you're right.
I feel like
people
go ahead. One of my favorite things from our generation for me is our shared experiences. Yeah. Is, you know, all of us are around the same age and we grew up in different sections of this country, far apart from each other. But we just had a conversation about all these different things that I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of different things that happen, but we have a lot of shared experiences, like sitting around the TV, popping in the VHS tape, seeing the bootleg. Like, this is our shared experience. And I don't know if this generation will have that much of a connection with people. Yeah. There's so much,
That's what I meant, the togetherness.
We share so much. Like going to visit my cousin in Virginia, like we would just focus on the things that we had in common, and then I would want to learn about what we had that was different. And a lot of times it was just certain country things. Well, this is a small town, so we do this. But most of the time it was more things in common than not in the average kid in the 90s. Like I love it because like we talked about this, like we were talking about it on the live with Curator and I can't remember her name.
Scales.
Yeah. And it's just like, that's crazy. She was in Iowa, and we still all had that shared experience. Growing up in the 90s was a time for us. Like we shared this experience, like I think, but that also is where the bad thing comes in, which was our lack of supervision.
Right.
We were getting into stuff that we shouldn't have got into because our parents said, "Well, you go outside."
They don't got supervision now either though.
True.
That's why I say it's the same. It's the bad things are the same. It's just worse now.
Yeah. Because it's even less supervision.
Yeah, they don't got supervision now neither. Like having to go, stay at home with if you were the oldest child, having to stay at home with your younger siblings because your parents got to go to work.
Same. I had that too. I was the babysitter.
Same.
I had to sit here and watch my little sister when I shouldn't have been.
I had my brothers, I had cousins, everybody that I was watching. Sometimes even when the kids older than me was around, I still was a responsible one.
Also, the trauma that we have, a lot of us, it's crazy to say, but a lot of us from that generation have depression now or have some kind of mental something wrong with us where we don't like people, don't want to be around people,
because of the togetherness.
Right. Now it's just like, now you know that you don't have to be in certain situations that you were forced to be in as a kid, like I have to sleep over here. He has to sleep in the bed with me.
Right.
What? He pee in the bed.
Yeah, we definitely used to have to share the bed. Cousins, like 10 of y'all in the same damn bed.
Not me. Sleep on the floor. You come stay with me. You ain't sleeping in my bed.
I got so mad that I had to share. I had to give up my bed one time for my oldest, like my dad's cousin. Like he's older. Like, oh, he's on a hard time. So you gonna sleep on the top bunk of your bed and he gonna sleep on the bottom bunk.
Hard times. What they gotta do with me?
Right. Why you gotta be in my room?
Why you gotta be in my room?
You're a grown man.
We got a perfectly good couch bed. He could go sleep out there.
That's one thing. My mama wouldn't let nobody stay with us.
My parents didn't. Like, it wasn't a lot.
Not like that, but like kids sometimes, but
yeah. Like, you want too many grown people staying with.
Yeah.
Like, I always have my cousins in the crib, which is why.
Same. My house used to be the house.
Yeah, that's why I got caught having sex with my cousin in the floor, because we always was together. Like, yeah, that's what we did. I shouldn't have did that. That was wrong. I still feel bad to this day.
Definitely, I've done some things in rooms with people too, so you ain't by yourself.
I think I had a different experience because I have two
I was a
separate.
lot older though, so yeah.
How old were you?
I think I was like 18.
Oh, you was somewhat grown.
Somewhat.
I was grown. She just happened to be in my room, like my bed.
You was grown too. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. I had two separate experiences because I grew up part of the time in LA where my family was. Then we moved an hour away, so seeing family was a rarity. So I did cherish that, the fact that they did come over, because a lot of the time it was just me and my sister. So us being in the house was like, I'm watching her, not really having friends for the first year. Early 90s for me, TV was my friend because I couldn't even go outside. We wasn't allowed to go outside because mom and dad wasn't home, and they didn't get home until it was time to go to bed.
You were so obedient. My mama used to be everywhere. We used to be over the roof of the house. I'm sending my brothers down the road to go get some snacks.
I wasn't allowed to.
I ain't listening to that. She said, "Don't go outside."
But the thing was, when I got the one time I decided to be disobedient, so I was on punishment. And my own dad said I couldn't go outside, and my window just so happened to be is a perfect punishment because my window faced the street. So I could just sit there and see my friends doing something, and I'm just like, and so I'm watching them play basketball one day, and I'm like, okay, dad gets home at 6. So I can play basketball until like 5:55. I won't get in trouble. As a kid, you have no concept of time for real. So I'm playing basketball like mid shot. My dad come on the street. Wasn't no hiding this beat. My dad, he had the look. Him and my mom had that look. They didn't have to say nothing. Just
yep.
I'm just like, drop the ball, did the slow walk back to the house.
I would have like I didn't know what he was looking at. What I do?
I won't know acting like you didn't know what you was doing. She was a little woman, but she was strong as hell. She would beat your ass.
I used to push my mama buttons. I didn't care. People thought that I was the good kid. No, I was not.
You was pushing buttons?
Pushing buttons with my mama.
Oh yeah, look at me. Like, give me that look. What I do?
I pushed the button with my mama. She was gonna punch my chest.
My mama would do the same thing. I just didn't care. That joke gonna hurt a little while. I'm gonna be good. That's how I used to think.
My mama hit you. It's like the Big Show hit you.
Oh, my mama was like that too.
I remember the one time I tried to act like a whooping didn't hurt. So I was like, I had made it up my mind. I'm like, mind over matter. I watched Street Fighter. Remember that scene that they was getting beat on Street Fighter? And then he was just like, my mind's somewhere else. So I was just like, put my mind somewhere else. I could do this. So my dad was really big on not messing up the clothes that he bought me. So you got to pull down your pants.
Yep.
To get a whooping. So I pulled down my pants, and the first 2 strikes, I was like, not crying. Second one, That third one, he was like, "Oh, you not finna cry, huh?"
First of all, our parents was abusive, bro. Because why do you want this to hurt me? And I would have asked that too. Why you want this to hurt me? What's wrong with you?
I didn't need whoopings though. Like it was the threat of the whooping that got me more than anything. My dad, like, he would always, his thing was to talk to me before he gave me a whooping. That talking to me was worse than the whooping to me because the anticipation, because my dad had a belt specifically for whoopings. And so I would know if I'm about to get a whooping by the time when he walked in, if he had a bulge in his back pocket. So I was just like, it was the belt. I'm like, I'm about to get a whooping. And so I'm gonna have to wait here alone. That anticipation all that time was all the punishment I needed. And then he sit down. So I told you not to do that, right? I told you not to go over there, and you did it anyway. Yeah. You know what time it is. Put your pants down. That's all I needed.
Bro, parents were terrible. Like, do you think that they used to wait for moments like that and talk to each other like, hey, you see how I handled that situation?
I'm
sure they did.
I think so. Some of that was traumatic. For a while, I couldn't even listen to Anita Baker because they would put it on.
Listening to Anita Baker one time?
No, it was the fact that the anticipation. So I know I'm about to get a whooping. So they like on the ride home, they sitting there acting like nothing finna happen. So I'm riding home like I'm about to get your ass when we get home. Mm-hmm. And then they sitting in the car, like talking, listening to music and everything. I'm sitting there. You're sitting there listening like nothing finna happen. I'm just like, I'm traumatized like the whole time.
You know how many times I would be forgetting that I'm supposed to beat my kids? How do y'all even remember? Like, and parents be holding on to them feelings for so long. How you even remember that you supposed to beat this child? Because I be done forget. They done did something funny. I done forgot that they did something bad because I'm laughing.
My parents was not forgetting.
How y'all do that? Like, it's like, what kind of people were y'all? We too goofy or something. My child do something funny, they not getting to be in.
Right. One time I got three whoopings in one day. All for the same thing too. That's the crazy thing. My grandma whooped me, and then so.
Oh yeah.
You remember that type of thing, huh, William?
Yeah, I grew up like that.
Don't let grandma have to because I'm a whoop you too. So grandma whooped me, which wasn't that bad. Then mom whooped me, which was a little worse. My mom, I realized now she was afraid of hearing me cry. She didn't like hearing me cry, so she said, "Bite the bed." That was her thing. Bite the bed. I don't want to hear you crying. And so she whooped me, and then dad came home. So by the time I got into the day, I had welts all up and down my arms.
You had need to call that police.
All up and down my legs.
And then got his ass whipped again.
You would have need. No, I'm talking about that time he told us he called the police on him because he thought he was getting abused. You needed to do that.
That was abuse. Like
that was a bite the bed.
Yeah, word.
And then I had to go to church that night, and they said I'm gonna whoop you so you can't sit down straight. I'm in church like this. I couldn't, and with a turtleneck on and a long sleeve shirt in the middle of September in LA when it's hot.
Like, oh, hi, your welts.
Yes.
Oh no, you want to beat me? These people gonna know. I ain't hide nothing. They gonna see these welts on me.
No, my mom ain't never do that. Like my mom wouldn't have to beat me like that. She just hit me once and I'm done. I'm done getting in trouble after that.
Yeah.
I think that's one
thing. Getting in trouble has started getting boring to me. So I had stopped. It was like, this is boring. Like, I'm over this.
I think that's one thing that's better about this generation is they're willing to talk about not whooping. Like there are other ways to go about it.
Yeah.
That song was abusive.
It really was. Getting a switch, if you ever had to get a switch,
like switch was terrible.
Mm-hmm. That's beat us with freaking boards, like the little pieces of board. She used to have one like because you know the space between the door, the bedroom door, whatever, and the floor. She used to have like them to cover that space so she could keep the air heated. She used to beat us with that. Like my mama was lethal too. I just didn't care. You can beat me with whatever you want to beat me with. You gonna hear this mouth.
I got whoopings with that. Extension cords, train tracks.
and I would make you feel bad for doing it.
I felt like it wasn't no making them feel
bad. My mom was like Bruce Lee. I ain't about to make you mad.
For real. I feel like they led by fear because they didn't have the time to sit there and deal with it. Like they had to go to work.
My mama didn't have a choice for me because I was like, you can beat me, but guess what? This issue still gonna be here because I'ma still talk my junk. And then she started being like, "You like this is not gonna work for you, huh?" Nope. You ready to talk about stuff now? That's the only way. Hey, that's the only way, because you can beat me all you want to. It ain't gonna help nothing.
Oh, it helped me.
It helped me. I couldn't say nothing like that. I'd have got my damn head chopped off. Like, what?
I had a fear of my parents, like a fear of them, like they gonna kill me. Because at this point, what you gonna do? Like, you gonna kill me? Like, I really thought that. Like, he was.
I think I was just I think I was just one of those kids that I was rebellious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people didn't see it, they didn't realize it or whatever because I was a quiet child, so they thought that I was a good child. But I was rebellious. Like, I don't care nothing about you being a parent and this your way of doing things or whatever. It's a better way. And why you even like doing this? Why you even like beating me? This it's not gonna solve nothing.
Right.
I wish
for
that.
most parents, it was because that's how they were raised. So they would raise their kids the same way.
That mentality came from slavery, though. Beating. So it's just like you keep passing this down like this is the only way, but it's not. Start figuring out the root of the behavior.
It's lazy. You lazy. If the only thing, your only punishment is beating, you're a lazy parent. You're lazy.
Yeah.
There's other ways to discipline your kids.
Mm-hmm.
And get better results.
Right. Cause honestly, them little beatings, I would rather that than being punished. You could beat me all you want to. Like I said, I had sickle cell. I used to be in some pain. I don't care nothing about no pain. Like, I eat this every day. Like, you're gonna have to do better than this.
Yeah, that's why it didn't bother you as much getting a beating, because you were used to being in pain already.
Right. Like, I don't care nothing about that.
I got beatings because I was an asshole. I'll be honest with y'all. I
Me
was a
too.
mean kid. Like, I was like, you remember those metal Matchbox cars, like the goddamn Hot Wheels cars?
Mm-hmm.
I threw one of those at one of my cousins, bust his head wide open. Ooh, blood trickling down his head. I was mean as hell.
You was bad.
I was.
Most of my
weapons, I was gonna swing.
Most of my weapons as a
But
kid.
I get it from my mother. She was like, when she was a kid, she beat up people. She choked a girl out at school one time.
My mom was a fighter too, so I got it from her too.
My mom was too. But what did they expect? That's what I'm wondering. Like, what did y'all expect?
Most of my beatings came from my mouth, though. The other stuff, like the stuff that I used to do to get in trouble, like for instance, I used to be real curious as a kid. So I used to do stuff. I used to play with fire and stuff like that. Well, I'm gonna put some hand sanitizer, because we had a fireplace, and I would like put hand sanitizer on the like brick part and light it up. I used to like doing stuff like that.
Did you knew it was gonna cause a fire?
Yeah, I knew what I was doing.
You was a pyro?
Not really. I just like doing stuff because I was bored. Oh, I must be dead like fire, because I used to do candles too. I would light the paper and like tissue and stuff, and then I would throw it on the floor and stomp it out. I was bad for a little while, and then that stuff started to get boring to me. So then now, just I went to the stage of it being my mouth. Like, my mama hated that junk. She hated it. That's why she used to hit me, and I'm just like, okay, hit me, and I'm still talking junk. I don't care.
I don't feel like I did anything that bad when I was younger to deserve a lot of whippings. Like, the big one I just told y'all about, I got a whooping because I called 911 and hung up. I was just playing on the phone. Like,
yeah, you definitely, because I was doing stuff to get beatings. I earned my beatings.
Or doing
100%.
little mischievous stuff or whatever. Like, not even like just causing no damage. Really, that wasn't my thing. Like, I got in trouble at school, and my parents were so much believing the teachers. So it's just like, teacher said you was bad and you was bad. I'm just like, but I wasn't though. Okay, you still getting the whooping.
Yeah, you was getting beaten for everything.
It's like, dang, I didn't deserve this one. Like,
Your parents ain't got tired. Like, I feel like at some point, do you get tired of being your kids? It's other things to do. Like, you could take something from them. You could punish them.
That's what happened when I got in high school. After a while, I stopped getting whoopings, and they started just punishing me, like for bad grades or whatever. But I spent most of my high school years on punishment. Like it's like, so y'all just keeping me apart from people at a certain point.
So punishment for y'all was staying away from people.
Yeah, staying in the house, taking away TV, taking away.
Yeah, my mom would take like TV, radio. Take my radio. I'm sad now. But my mama was one of them parents that like she punished you, or it wasn't no like crazy punishment. Like, oh, you on punishment for 2 months, you on punishment for a month or something like that. She would take it away for maybe like a week, maybe not even that long. Like, she would end up just giving us our stuff back. Because I feel like I feel like it the beatings and stuff started to get old to her too. Because it's like, why am I doing this? Like, I said that I wanted to be different from my mama, but I'm doing exactly what she doing. Like, why am I doing this? This is not what I wanted to do as a parent. So, because I definitely challenged her a lot, I would say. So my brothers didn't really have to do a whole lot of nothing. I was the one that challenged her a lot, but I feel like it took two. So I can't just say I made her a certain type of way. She had to be willing to do things differently, because if she wasn't, then it just would have been me and her butting heads the entire time until she just got tired of me or whatever. Then I would have been out of the house. But because I feel like she wanted to do things differently, that's something that she wanted to do before she even had kids. So when she's seeing how I'm reacting, I'm making her think about stuff. Like, I'm saying certain things, I'm making her think about it. Like, dang, she right. Why am I doing this or whatever? And then she started talking to us rather than fussing and then running to get a belt and beat somebody or whatever. Like, she started communicating with us, and it got to a point where she didn't have to beat us. She didn't have to really punish us or nothing like that. We just were pretty good kids. We weren't really bad kids anyway in the first place. The only person she really had issues with was one of my brothers, the oldest boy, who was, to me, I feel like he had a behavior disorder. But the rest of us, we weren't bad kids. Like, we would just do stupid stuff sometimes. She would check it, and that's it. Like, we would make mistakes once. We weren't those kids that just kept doing stuff. Like, when we get corrected, okay, I ain't gonna do that again.
Yeah, it got to a point with my mom where it took too much energy to be busting our ass.
Yeah. At some point, they gotta get tired of that.
She started taking stuff away, like you said. Like, if she knew how much I like playing my video games, if I did something bad, take the fucking game away.
Right.
Can't play the game. My ass ain't gonna do what I did anymore because I don't want my game to get taken away.
Right.
I wish they would have learned. My parents would have learned faster, and also been more understanding. Like, I feel like my mom and I butted heads so much because we were so much alike. Like, as far as our personalities, like, I'm fiery just like her. So, if she would have realized that, just, you still the mama. You didn't need to do that. Like, you didn't need to. I still respected you, and I had a healthy fear, probably unhealthy fear of them.
Definitely. I don't feel like you're supposed to fear your parents at all. That's crazy. That's crazy that that's crazy that they had that mindset, like, I'm gonna make them scared of me type of thing. But I also know that also came from slavery too. But it's like, when do you stop blaming everything for slavery for everything? Like, we know where it came from. Now fix it.
Yep.
That was the reason for a lot of my punishments, like me not doing stuff, was because I was afraid of it. So I wouldn't speak up a lot of the time. I would just, my thing was passive aggressive, Like, it'd be funny, I see those videos of people like going in their room, like afterwards cussing their parents out or whatever, in their head or whatever. That'd be me. Because I couldn't buck up like that. I couldn't say I didn't like that, or I didn't appreciate that, or I thought that was wrong, or I just got a whooping for something I didn't deserve to get a whooping for. You know, and I feel like a lot of people have that shared experience too from that time because our parents didn't have the time to sit down. My dad was working 16 hours. So for him to come off and come home to whoop me was extra shit he got to do. You know, I'm not saying it's an excuse.
No, it wasn't. He literally just
It's not
didn't have to do it.
Yeah, he just didn't have to do it. You just, you know, you can't take away from your parenting by working like that, which is something that I hope this generation learns. Everybody's about the money or whatever. Dude, ain't enough money in the world.
Right.
Ain't enough money in the world. Time means a whole lot more, and kids remember stuff like that.
Yep.
More than money. You remember, like you asked a lot of kids, do you remember the toys you got for all these Christmases? I remember certain toys.
Yeah.
But the more I remember you sat there and played my video game with me. I remember you sat here and talked to me and listened to my favorite song with me. I remember these things. These memories is what I remember more. Not the fact that you spent all of this money. You should be grateful because I spent all of this money. Like, I didn't ask you to spend shit.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I wish that they would have thought like that, and I hope that we learn instead of passing the trauma down. And I feel like a lot of us, our generation, is trying to pass that trauma down, and a lot of us are trying to stop it too. Like,
Yep.
don't pass that same trauma down. You don't need to hit the kid upside the head. You don't. What is it going to serve?
I think it's actually a lot more of us that's trying to stop it than pass it down.
Because we know what we went through.
Yeah.
Exactly. I said it when I was
even in situations where people will say that as parents, like people from my generation, they started out doing stuff like that, but then they started questioning themselves, like, why am I doing this? Because I feel like parents, obviously, they didn't do that back then. Like, why are you? I used to ask my mama, like, why is what I feel not important? Like, why is what you feel always important? Like, you don't care about what I feel? Like, I'm a person too.
That listening thing, it means a whole lot. Listen to your kids. They will tell you what they want a lot of the times. Let me have an opinion.
Right.
You have to, that's what you learn when you grow up. And these are the same people that go to jobs and get mistreated and stuff because you want to give them that fear of authority. Like, you're going to respect authority so much that you do something that's counterproductive to your own health. Like,
right.
A lot of the older generation too like to say that kids these days don't respect authority. And I'll be like, should they?
Right.
Should they respect authority? What has authority done to get respect?
Yeah, right. I didn't respect authority. I hated authority, actually, growing up.
Isn't respect earned?
I didn't either.
Like, outside of my mom, like I had or have, you know, like I said, they all grew up where they would get beat. And you know what I'm saying? If they spoke out of turn, or if they just even remotely was disrespectful to their parents growing up, they was getting their asses whipped. And then like my mom was not as bad as like certain aunts that I had. Like certain aunts really believed that because they were my aunt, that they had more authority over me. And I was supposed to just do what they said do, and they'd be totally disrespectful most of the time. And they did it up until I was grown, some of them. One of them in particular, she just thought she had the authority to come into our house, open up your blinds, wake you up in the morning, like talk shit to you, and you was just supposed to take it. And like me and certain of my other cousins didn't do it. Like we would undermine that authority that she thought she had. Especially my ass. Like you about to come into my house.
Definitely. Girl, if you don't get out my room talking about something, get up.
Right.
Get out my face with that joint.
Right. And I'm grown too, paying bills at this point. Like you ain't about to come in my shit and tell me nothing.
Exactly.
So yeah, she hated that shit, boy. Me and her almost came to blows one time. That's how bad it got. and I was begging her to swing on me just so I could retaliate.
I wish you.
What happened to respect being earned?
Exactly.
I don't think that was ever a thing. If you think about it, I don't think respect being earned was ever a thing. People just demanded it, like you just supposed to. And honestly, to be honest, I do feel like everybody should respect each other without having to be shown something. However, because of the way things are, that's not how it is. Like that ain't realistic. I'm not just about to respect you because you exist.
I feel like that kind of respect is different than like having that general respect for everybody. Like I'm going to treat you the way I want to be treated should be a thing. But a lot of times the adults in our lives would be the ones that sit there. Well, we got to listen to what I say, but why do I got to listen to what you say though?
Right.
What have you done to show me that you're respectful? What have you done to show me that you actually give a shit about me? Because you can't sit there and be telling me to do something if you don't care about me. I don't ever. Go ahead. Go ahead. If I don't ever see you as a kid, why are you telling me what to do? You know, like I feel like that's not, and I make sure I'm not that way with my nieces and nephews. Now I'm authority figure, but it's a different type of way that I'm an authority figure. I'm not that uncle that's sitting there on your case. I'm just trying to keep you out of doing something wrong. You know, most of the time,
telling my mama them too.
Most of the time, it's just about spending time with them, you know, getting to know them on a personal level. And for me, like one of my nieces, like I told her before, and I didn't even need to punish her. I caught her doing something she wasn't supposed to be doing, and I told her I'm disappointed in you because I know you know that.
And not you using the manipulation. I'm disappointed in you. Parents used to use
even that disappointed shit, boy.
That junk is abusive too. I don't care what nobody say. That's worse than a beating. Don't tell me no mess like that. I'm disappointed in you.
Telling me I'm disappointed is like you might as well have hit me.
You might as well.
But I told her that she knew better, and she knew it, and she just thought she wasn't gonna get caught. Yeah. And then after that, I'm like, you know what? Like, just you know what you're supposed to be doing. Like it was like it's just like you thought that this house was different. Like this house is different than your mama house because for me, I'm not. I have rules for my house, but most of it is rules just for your better. If that makes sense. Like, don't be doing nothing stupid. It's just like because I'll let a kid be a kid. Go play, have fun. Like really, I want you to have real fun. You know, without thinking about stuff. But you trying to break stuff, or you trying to play with wires, or you trying to
like no, that's too much. And that's wild too, because when we was kids, was y'all doing that? Y'all going to people's house like touching stuff and like breaking stuff and stuff like that?
Nope.
Kids now, they do not care. They don't have no respect for other people's stuff and space. It's like it's there. I want it. I want to touch it.
Nope.
I never did that as a kid.
I did one thing to my aunt's house, but it wasn't like I wasn't trying to break it, but I didn't realize what I did. Like I was fidgety as a kid, so just sit there was hard for me. So I had to put my hands behind my back, and my hand just so happened to be on the heater. So I was just like, and it was on the heater, so I twisted something. I didn't know what I twisted. I didn't realize that I did it, and so when we came back. It was one of those old kerosene heaters. We came back to the house. All of that kerosene was all over my auntie floor.
Oh,
and I gotta ask you for that. I didn't even realize I had did it. Though that was the thing. It's like my shock was real shock. Like
a kerosene heater.
Yeah, I didn't know what I did, but it wasn't like purposely trying to break something or touch something. I was in the corner like.
Yeah, no, I never touch nothing.
Me neither. I ain't touching nothing in nobody's house. I sit in the same spot and not move. I gotta use the bathroom. I ain't going to the bathroom. I'm thirsty. I ain't asking for nothing. I'm just about to sit there. I ain't touching nothing.
I barely touch shit in my own damn house. I ain't about to touch nothing in nobody else.
Oh, for real.
Kids now, they just come and just put their hands on everything.
I couldn't touch nothing. At my granny's house, my mom, auntie, especially my auntie house that just passed away. She was so pristine. about you better not step a foot in this room. She had a Barbie doll collection. You better nope. This is the kids' area. This box is the kids' area. You do not leave this area. Nope.
I don't blame Auntie. But yeah, I be telling my mom and them that too. Like whenever my niece and nephew come over, I get that y'all are adults and y'all are their grandparents, but telling them what to do is not going. They're never going to listen to you because you don't even see them on a daily basis, so they don't have to. Like you're not the person that they got to answer to every day. So trying to discipline them a certain type of way ain't gonna work because you ain't around them, so it's a waste of time. So if my niece is like she come in my room, she talking to a little boy on the phone, I'm not about to be like, what you do is talking to a little boy, you too young to be talking to a boy or whatever. But she do something, I'm gonna correct it. Like for instance, she came over here, was that last weekend, and she was steady calling some little boy and he wasn't answering her phone. He wasn't answering her call or whatever. She just steady, why you won't answer? Why you won't answer? And I'm like, what are you doing? Because at first I'm looking at her, but I ain't in her business at the same time. Like, what are you doing? She like, this boy won't answer the phone or whatever. You know, my niece is one of those kids that she do stuff in front of you for you to ask because she just want to tell you like what's going on. Because she has this thing where she wants to feel grown. So it's like, oh, like she wanna be able to talk to me like, girl, I got me a little boyfriend or whatever. And it's like,
how old is she?
no, number one, no, she's 9.
Wow.
9 years old.
Baby girl.
And I'm like, she like, this boy won't answer the phone. I'm like, why? I said, obviously he don't want to talk to you. And she like, well, if he don't want to talk to me, he should just say that. I'm saying he is saying that. He not answering your phone call.
Yeah, if he ain't answering the phone, he don't want to talk to you. Right?
Like he telling you he don't want to talk to you. Like you don't keep calling somebody that is showing you that they don't want to talk to you. Stop doing that.
Right.
Like I'm not about to tell her she can't talk to no boys because maybe her mama told her she can. I don't know. I ain't about to tell her no, but I am going to be like, you don't do this, don't do that, whatever. You don't be calling no boy, don't be chasing behind no little boy or whatever. You a kid. You don't even got no business really talking to none for real. Not unsupervised. And the fact that you chasing them like they belong to you, like they're your possession, is you too young for that.
I'm doing that shit at 9. Jesus.
Yeah, like you too young for that. Like what is wrong with you?
I feel like as a aunt or an uncle, like your job is to guide, and your job is to be able to be the person they could tell stuff to that they feel like they can't tell their mom and dad.
Exactly.
And so my nieces and nephew tell me, I'm not judging you. I put myself in the mindset of a kid, so I realize
I act just like them.
Exactly. I'm sitting there, so you're gonna tell me everything anyway, but I'm gonna also cause you to think about it and come to you as that kid. You know, at the same time, like why are you doing that? Like,
exactly.
Why you like you said, why you keep calling that boy? He not stunning you?
Exactly. Like I ain't about to, girl, you got a boyfriend with her? No, I ain't about to do that. But instead of being like, you shouldn't be talking to no boys anyway, I'ma give you game. Like, why is you don't do that? If he don't want to talk to you, don't talk to him. He telling you he don't want to talk to you. So what is you doing?
You'll have a lot more of a bigger impact that way, other than just saying, sit down, be quiet, go over there, don't do that, don't do this. Like
I know, because the more you say don't, they gonna do.
I'm sitting there letting you be a kid. I'm in the same zone with you, and I start seeing certain things. I'm in this question: why do you do that?
Exactly.
Why do you feel need to keep touching that? Because, and you start questioning them, and a lot of times they don't know why, and they sit there and stop. Getting the kid to stop and think real quick.
That's what you're supposed to do, but you constantly yelling. Why are you doing this, Zoe? You better not have no little boyfriend, because I feel like that's my mama's normal reaction. Like you grown, like she grown. I'm like, nah, that's normal. She is a girl who's attracted to boys. Like that's normal or whatever, because who knows? But that's normal. It's not necessarily grown. Like we didn't start being attracted to each other when we turned 18. Like that was happening while we were. I was her age doing the same thing. Like except I was player. Like she moving wrong.
I feel like as a parent,
like you moving wrong.
As a parent, you need to realize that that's going to happen, and you need to navigate them in the right way to handle that. Telling them not to do is just going to make them want to have more boys like in the house.
Exactly.
My mom could not tell me to not talk to no girls in school because I was sure was finna talk to some girls.
Definitely was talking to some boys.
I'm finna go over. What's up? So if you would have had a conversation about healthy boundaries and stuff like that, if you don't want to do this, then you don't have to. Make them think about it. You know, even teenagers, you really want to have sex? Well, why? Now tell them all of this stuff comes along with it too. Because your feelings get involved, you're gonna get your feelings hurt. And then you're gonna come to me and I'm gonna be like, well, these are the consequences of your actions. And that's what being an adult is all about.
Yeah, not taking privileges away from them because that's wild. Like they gonna do it, baby. It don't matter how many times you yell, how you yell it, how you spell it, they gonna do it. You did it. Yep. You did it.
Right. But on the 90s topic, y'all got anything else to say before we get out of here?
Not really, except the 90s was lit. I feel like it was so lit that we can't keep staying in the mindset and we don't want to leave it. But those are not the times anymore. Like the 90s was a time. It was great. It was lit. But that's not where we live in now.
Our generation impact, I think, is the best on everything because they're remaking stuff from our generation, movies, TV shows, cartoons, video games, all of that. Like it was so much more creativity and stuff that they trying to copy it now to capture.
Some they shouldn't.
Some they shouldn't. They really shouldn't.
Some they should not.
Leave it be.
Leave it alone.
Leave it be. It was good while it was there, like Lion King. Why did
Lord.
Why did you do that? That pissed me off. Why you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to throw a tomato at the screen. What is this? But I feel like we had a great time in our generation, one of the greatest generations. The last one before social media really took over. So I cherish our times, but also realize that I feel like our future can be bright. This generations can be bright, but we got to do a better job too of trying to reach out and break the divide between us. Like we got to start talking to them too. Like, hey, don't be going out. Y'all fucking up now. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Like, learn from what you're doing. Like, don't be,
I think it's more so a lot of people be having the I can't tell them how to move, and you can't, but at the same time, it's a way that you do it. I feel like y'all be trying to shame people out of doing things, and that's not the way to do it. You have to understand that they're going to do it. So your best bet is just to give them advice like, well, what about this? What about looking at it like that? Or why, like you said, ask that question. Why do you do that? Why do you think like that? Why is it this way? Make them think rather than try to think for them. There's a difference.
Yeah. Once you cause them to think and then they start making it up in their heads, that's how you teach them how to be an adult. Because what really separates kids and adults is your critical thinking skills. How can you analyze the situation? And you have to know a lot of times us adults, we know that we just can't go do something stupid right now at the spur of the moment because there's a whole lot of consequences for what we do. I really want to go punch this nigga in the face.
Some adults.
If I do, I might go to jail. And I'm black.
Right.
Yeah, and you're black. Yeah.
I gotta think about that. Like, this might not work out the best for me, so I'm gonna just fuck you and walk away.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Still learning. Still learning.
And if we start teaching them that, that's how we teach them, start thinking about it. Before you do this, what is the consequences of it? Weigh it out. Now, if you're okay with that, you're okay with those consequences, then that's on you. But don't be complaining once you in the midst of the consequences that you just thought about. You sitting there. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm pregnant now. That's consequences of your action. You chose to go.
Right.
Chose to go sleep around. I'm not saying that it was the right thing or wrong thing at the time, but now you got a baby. You got to take care of that baby. Mm-hmm. I told
you get throw it away in some states. You don't gotta take it.
I think it's federal to just you could go drop the baby off at a firehouse or a hospital.
Yeah, get a sucker away.
It's just crazy. I'd much rather that than they put a baby in a trash can.
Right. Yep. Or do something else to.
But this has been another episode of the Raw Educated Analysis of Life podcast. This was fun. Talking about the greatest generation. I'm not trying to toot our own horns, but we had a special time, We had a lot.
Yes, we did.
It was awesome. Thank you guys for watching. Of course, like, share, subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, stay tuned for our big announcement. This might be the last episode before the announcement is official. So thank y'all for watching. Listen to this on Spotify and Amazon. Hit that thumbs up. Help us climb up in the rankings. And share it to your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your sister, brother. Share it. Just share it, Share it to somebody you don't like too. Right. And I love each and every one of y'all. Peace.
Bye.
Night, everybody.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your man Royalty R.E.A.L here today.
And I'm the Sensual Genius. We have an announcement coming.
Big announcement for y'all.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun.
Something special for y'all.
Definitely, especially for the day ones, the people who have been watching us from the beginning.
Yes.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. So I appreciate you guys. Stay tuned. The announcement's coming real soon.
Real soon. Like right after this one.
That's staying in for the